Good morning. Welcome to Marty's Tying Bench. This morning I'm tying Mysis shrimp. This is a little pattern that looks complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. Let me give you a quick video on how I tie these. I use a scud hook, in this case Dai Riki 135. You do want to use a hook with a down eye because you're going to have some antenna and some other fibers sticking out the front, and this will make it a little easier to access with your tippet. Now for thread you can use plain white thread. For the longest time I just used A. Uni and then Vivas 14-aught, but I switched to kind of a pearlescent thread. This one happens to be a sewing thread, but you can get this stuff in Vivas iridescent thread, or you can try using Montana Fly's midge body thread. I just put it on a spool and I'm going to tie with this. For eyes, just got some round rubber, small, and I'm going to peel one strand off. And tie this one in. You want to get it a little ways back from the eye of the hook. It will make completing the fly a little easier. Now it doesn't take very much. We're going to coat this with bug bond at the end, so I don't worry too much about lots of wraps. We're going to get this thing secured with chemicals. Now for the body I've got Fluoro Fibre, and keep it relatively thin. Find the amount that you like, but you can get too much in here. It makes it a little more difficult to use. What I'm going to do is tie that in on the top of the hook and work my way towards the eye. And when I get close to the eye, I'm going to lift that up and build just a little 3-turn dam that's just going to cock that up a little bit away from the eye of the hook. Now I'm going to come back and kind of shape the body here. And just a little ways down the bend of the hook is all you need. Start back up. It's looking pretty good. Now be real careful when you tie a whip finish, because this thread is textured and it will kind of kink up and be hard to pull through. So just don't do it very tightly, and just a couple turns. There, that slid through. Now I'm going to cut the thread, and on each side I'm going to cut those nubs down pretty short. And on the front I'm going to spread these fibers out in a fan and just kind of get up here in between and leave a few on the outside, and then I'll go through and trim so that I just leave one on each side. And cut these things so that they're even. So there I got the front half done. I'm going to leave the tail until I'm done with the goo. Now I've used Clear Cure Goo, the flexible stuff, and today I'm using Bug Bond Light. It seems to be flexible enough. And just be careful you don't get too much on, or it'll bleed out into that Fluoro Fibre on the front. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid getting my hand in front here. There, maybe you can still see it. But if you do your body shaping with the thread, you won't need to put too much Clear Cure Goo on it, or Bug Bond in this case. And if you get enough that it starts running around the hook, that's fine. You can turn it upside down and kind of let it build a little high point. And then just hit it with your lamp. No rocket science yet. Now I'm going to get a little more, and I'm just going to work that into the Fluoro Fibre in the back. Now, before I cure it, I'm going to relax it a little bit so there's just kind of a little bit of a curve to it. Now, if I pull on this thing and flex, I can see where my glue ended, and I'm going to cut it just a little bit past that, so I've got a few fibers that haven't been secured, and I'll just push my finger against them, flare that out a little bit. There, pretty quick. Would it take me 6 minutes? And I was talking. There's my Mysis.